Hey guys, welcome back to Will It Work? We're at the last part of episode 5 with Dream of Dragons, a deck based around Aurora's Dream, Day of the Dragons, and sometimes Magda when I can keep her on the board. And so far it's just been an absolute blast playing this deck. Lots of strange moments where I've had some cheeky Magnus procs where I've drawn a 0-cost Dream, which has allowed me to play a Tephra to find lethal. It's just a lot of fun, and when this deck gets going, it can be pretty exciting to watch, but also exciting to play as well. So we're just going to get in some more games. I just want to keep on playing this. I am having a lot of fun with it, and hopefully we can continue to climb, and maybe we can see some new and exciting stuff coming from this build. Let's keep going. Alright guys, into our first match, and we have a very powerful opponent ahead of us. We have Mino, probably the best Faeria player in the scene right now. Playing on his Smurf, so I'm getting smurfed. I'm just going to throw away everything, you know me, I just want to find that Archon, I want to find that Lore Thief. Didn't find it this time. I did find a Plague Bearer, it's okay. Not fantastic. Now Mino might be playing Red Rush, because I have played against Mino a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, Red Rush has been a problem. And Mino knows what I'm up to. 100% Mino knows what's going down with me, and it's going to be Red Rush. So I could have played around that, but I didn't because, why? I guess I'm just a bit silly. I guess that's the truth of it. So we're just going to Diamond here, actually. I'm going to pass because I want to play Windfall. And yeah, get some Faeria when I need it. I don't necessarily need it right now. Actually, I had a comment on the last video asking why I don't just play Windfall and get the mana. And the truth is, I don't need to. Like, if I don't need to play Windfall, there's no point in playing it because I'm just showing my opponent I just basically reveal 2 cards in my hand. Or say for example here, I have Magda, right? Can't even. Let's say I could play Magda this turn. Now, I could double Windfall into Magda. Now, I lose 3 cards from my hand. My opponent knows I have a Mountain of Faeria to work with. While these are in my hand, my opponent has to guess what they are. My opponent doesn't know they're going to be Windfalls. So unless you need to ramp up your mana, don't do it. It's just not worth it. We're going to take this spot here. I'm going to pass, simply because we don't want the Axe Grinder spot on this well. If it comes down here, kind of the inevitable, can't really avoid it, but taking this spot's a lot better for us at this point, because Ground Shaker can obviously move and then Mountain here. Not what we want. I'm going to go for a more aggressive Mountain here and get the Brigand down. So I really need something like Frogify. Frogify would be really good. Archon's not bad, because it can be transformed straight into a 6/6. We can take the Axe Grinder spot now. Go for the double Windfall. Now we're double Windfalling in this situation because we want to turn this Archon into a 6/6. It's the only reason it was double Windfall was used. If I didn't have an Archon, let's say I had a Lore Thief instead, I probably wouldn't use the Windfalls unless I drew a card that made me use the Windfall to make sure I have enough Faeria going into the next turn. So it's just something to think about, guys. You know, if your opponent, you don't have to give your opponent all the information straight away. It's not necessary. Gonna gift, gain some Faeria, play another combat creature probably. Yeah. Okay, it's looking pretty bleak for us right now. Gonna land block us on the right hand side. So going for this well instead. It's really sad because I can't seem to get anything going at this point. Double Fatal Experiment, just not good right now. And this is going to be one of my harder matchups anyway. I did say in like the previous episodes that not necessarily Red Rush, but Rush decks do really well against this because it's slow, it's greedy. Red especially has Flame Burst, you know, just the old damage from hand. Just going in here, doesn't even care. I need to draw like Day of the Dragons right now. Day of the Dragons into all sorts of nonsense. Let's do this. You know, actually, a Plague Bearer might might just do it. It might just give me the chance I need. Okay, so I can play... Actually, I have a board clear. Because now I can just do this. Get the double clear. It's a little sad my lower fief dies. But I can just play Magnus on the follow-up. And yeah, we'll stick Magnus in the middle. That wasn't bad, actually. I was surprised. I do die to just double flame burst now, but at least Amino has to draw it. Like, that whole line cost Amino his entire hand. Very good for me. So just going to see a Bomb Slinger come down. And a Kupo come into play as well. No, Kupo, she's going to go. That's fine. Ooh, hello, creation. Okay. Let's take a draw. Trying to draw Radiance at this point. Alright. Now, I could Radiance now, but it's not really worth it. And I'm glad I drew first, because if I had drawn Radiance off the combat trigger from Magnus, it wouldn't have worked. That's pretty good. Let's trade these off. Take a draw. It heals me for 4. It puts me out of Flame Burst range. Do I race? Can I just dash straight? You know what? Let's do it. Let's just race. And I'll play this guy down as well. It's just so if Mina develops a creature, I can just run the Plague Bearer into it, and that's 4 damage. Unless it's something with really high life, like I don't know, like Grimguard. Grimguard would be a little sad. Oh, Exalted Ogre. Still greedy playing it by here, actually. Yeah, that's a problem. Let's take a draw. Not entirely sure what we do. I guess we just hit for 10. I can creation this, but I won't have enough Faeria to play it. I guess if I somehow survive, I'll be able to creation it. And be happy. Let's just see. Let's see if Mina has 1 damage. Now, could I have changed that? Yes. So if I had played the Plague Bearer in this position, I kind of set myself up to lose that game. Yeah, that was my own fault, because what I should have done, I should have played the Plague Bearer in the middle. I was greedy going for the collection there, and then I would have just ran in with the Aurora, and I would have cleared this, because they would have traded off from the 2 damage from its death ability, and then I would have just won with Radiant. So actually, a misplay from me cost me that match. Man, I still so much to learn. so much to learn with this deck, and you know that's something I enjoy about playing card games. You know, learning how they work. You know, learning from my mistakes. But good game to me, no. You know, it was very close. I was surprised I even got to this point in the match. It looked very bleak, but that Plague Bearer draw was fantastic. Let's get on to our next game. Alright guys, next game on the cards. A little disappointed with my misplay, but at least I identified it, right? I identified it, and hopefully as I continue to play this deck in the future, I won't run into the same problem again. Now this time we are going to be a little more cautious of potential rush strategies coming out. We saw Mina go for the mountain into the double neutral. Could happen again. Draw 2. Feels good. Alright. And Mina's rush deck run Bomb Slinger and Exalted Ogre. Not something you see very often. Ground Shaker. Nope, it's going to be a Brigand. Alright. Into Cypher's Wrath. My goal now going forward is to just get down Magnus. Get Magnus down and just get as much value as possible. Against mono red, Magnus is just amazing. So difficult to deal with, and it's not mono red. We've just seen a desert show up. But still, I can +1 into Windfall into Magnus, and I will take that right now. Because this isn't getting last nightmared. The worst thing that could happen to this right now is like a ton of removal thrown at it, which is not that bad to be honest. I just get cards out of my opponent's hand. Or like Emperor's Command Choking Sand, something crazy like that. It's gonna go for Gift of Steel. Maybe another Gift of Steel on top of that to finish this off. And then I hopefully just draw Aurora's Dream and win the game. That's the plan. It might not turn out that way, but we'll see. Oh, that was awful. If I draw Aurora's Dream now, I'm going to be a very sad person. Ah, see, I would have much preferred this. Why don't you give me this card? Stupid. Stupid, Magnus. I thought you were the king. Oh, it was close. Very close. Alright, we can just chill for a turn. Unless I should just get the Plague Bearer down now. I know, let's see if my opponent has an answer to this, see if I can collect off the well. Then I can go like +1 into Windfall, into Yak Attack, and kill this with Yak Attack. And then keep my Plague Bearers for later. No, I'm just gonna Cypher's Wrath. So I can Yak Attack at least. See, I've got Windfall again. I could like double Windfall. Feels bad. Feels very bad. I really don't like playing against Burn with this deck, as you've probably seen in the past. You know, getting hit by that massive Scourge Flame in the first episode. I played against Burn, that mono red Burn, which was really annoying to play against. Not liking Burn. Another Cypher's Wrath, come on. Be good to me, game. Into a Brute. Alright, that's pretty good. We're going to take our last lake. I'm going to put this in the center. And the reason I'm going for this now is because if Brute gets, like, training into nonsense, I'm going to take so much damage. I don't have Radiance in hand currently. At least now the Archon challenges this. We've seen a Gift of Steel. I might get lucky. I might be able to get around it. It looks like it's just going to be Scourge Flame. Went for the last land there. Oh, going for it. I guess this is Gift of Steel then. Yeah, gonna take the clear. Wait, what? Okay. I kind of need to play something. I don't want to. I want a Windfall next turn. I guess I could set up the Plague Bearer. 6+1. I mean, if these all survive, I just kill my own Yak. Do not like that at all. Oh, this is awkward. All right, we'll just do it. We'll do it Nike style. We'll just do it. Now, unless I die, which is very much possible. I could die here. All right, this is actually not too bad now. I can +1 to Windfall. Windfall. Law Thief. Guess I can pre-hit this. Take the extra damage and make it cheaper. Take the Law Thief on this side. Okay. very clunky hand for me. I don't know. It was just a bit awkward. That's all. I do have the creations. I can, gain some life back going forward. I've failed experiment into Plague Bearer. That's all right. I don't know. I'm not liking this at all. I can creation get this ready. You know what, I'm gonna try this. Let's just ramp our Faeria up. I should have drawn first actually. That was a bit of a misplay from me. Okay, that's not bad. Because now I can just go Plague Bearer, Plague Bearer? Plague Bearer, Plague Bearer, Frogify? And this is just to block taking any damage. I know I have creation into Radiance, but I'm thinking that if I can just stall for a bit, just slow things down, I can still take creation on Radiance later and build my hand back up. Problem is I'm just using a lot of Faeria reactively. I don't know, this doesn't feel great for me. I'm not completely sold on my line so far. I'm just trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Gift of Steel. Alright. Gonna move that out of the way. Go for the Plague Bearer. Clear. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oof. +1 Flame Burst. GG. I can't even afford Radiance at this point. Nope, I can't even afford a Creation Radiance. Ah, man, I needed to draw this so I could fail. I can't even failed experiment on it. I mean, I can Creation. It just doesn't do enough. But there we go. I'm going to lose again. Oh, man. This is not going well today for me. And, yeah, the burn takes me out. So I lost my first game due to my own misplay. And this match was just hard. Like, it was just very difficult for me to figure out and navigate around. If you guys have any thoughts, by all means, leave a comment. And I'll have a read and see if I could have made better decisions going into this game. But that does conclude the match. Let's get into our next one. Alright guys, into another match. Things didn't go so well yesterday for me. The first two matches were featured on a different day. I just kept running into Red Rush and I just can't win that matchup. Unfortunately, this deck just gets run over by Rush decks. You can win if you're lucky. And I even had a moment where I was lucky and I was completely countered by it. And it was a little frustrating because if I go up against... I don't mind playing against Rush, but I played against Rush one after another and I just couldn't get anything done. Now this hand is pretty awful. It's really bad, especially against blue. I can't play Stormspawn as a collector. I can get transformed. I have two Frogifies in hand. Like, what am I going to use these for right now? And Day of the Dragons, it's not very helpful at this point. But it looks like my opponent might be playing the same deck as me. So it looks like we're going to have a mirror. I actually haven't played a mirror yet. I have no idea how this plays out. I guess I could just low thief this side. Draw two cards. Another Frogify. Don't need any more Frogifies game. I've got two already. The best thing I can Frogify at the moment is a Stormspawn. Maybe Magnus if Magnus is to come down. No lake. Just collect. We'll pass, and again, look, I'm not using the Windfall. I don't need to use the Windfall right now. I'm not planning on playing anything. Don't need to reveal to my opponent I have that much Faeria available. I'm probably going to see some kind of failed experiment play. My opponent has better lands than me because I was just so afraid of rush. I decided to build anti-rush lands. It's kind of frustrating. So now I can go for the big Faeria combo because it turns my Archon. Right? That's the purpose. So I can go this, 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 this. And that basically, I only did that because I didn't need to do that. I didn't need the Faeria. I only did that to turn my Archon into a 6/6. If I didn't have an Archon, I probably wouldn't have used all those cards because I don't need to reveal to my opponent that I have that Faeria. Failed experiment, Storm Spawn, Windfall. Oh snap. Archon? Yeah. So we just kind of mirrored each other there, which is fine because I can actually just Frogify this, and Frogify is useful. Another Storm Spawn. Not the best. We'll just pass on that. So taking care of the Archon with the Frogify. I need more gas. I have a lot of Faeria. I just need to draw Dream ideally before my opponent does. That's something I really want to see. This matchup may just come down to who draws Dream first and who's able to pressure the board with Day of the Dragons. So Magnus. And now the Frogifies are coming quite useful. I'm able to answer a lot of these things. Failed experiment. Failed experiment. Now I don't like playing Magnus against blue players simply because of that. Like the Frogify is so powerful. It's a massive blowout. Like my opponent invested 10 Faeria into that Magnus, and I invested 4 Faeria into an answer. So I gained a 6 Faeria advantage there in that trade-off. And this Archon's already killed 2 frogs. You know, he can kill another. I have another Frogify in hand. He is able to do that. So depending on what my opponent plays now, I might have the Frogify again. Like, Archon's really bad in this situation because my 6/2 will clear a fresh 6/6 Archon. Ideally, my opponent wants that Plague Bearer to die on the left-hand side. Does wipe the board, but does regain initiative. But how do you kill that without failed experiment Plague Bearer? And that's just kind of wasteful in a way. As you can see, just gonna pass there. This is going to give me an opportunity to draw some cards. I'm just going to go over here. Just take care of that Lore Thief. We are ahead in Faeria, so we can Dream first if we had the Dream, but unfortunately we don't have it just yet. And I'd rather get rid of some of these cards in hand. I don't want to Dream Failed Experiment or say Plague Bearer. It's not great, is it? I'd rather get some more high impact cards. It's even better if you can Day of the Dragons first and then Aurora's Dream. That is the dream, you could say. I do have the opportunity to Plague Bearer myself with Failed Experiment now that I'm thinking about it. But the problem... That's actually not too bad because I do have 2 failed experiments. It will allow me to use it on Storm Spawn. So if I'm able to draw Aurora's Dream, I can go for a failed experiment combo first with the Plague Bearer and the Storm Spawn. So I draw more cards out of my deck and hopefully get some high cost cards like a Magnus, for example, or a Yak Attack, and get them reduced to 0. And then I can figure out what I want to do with Day of Dragon. So if I pull, say, a Windfall as well, You know, I can Windfall, I can Day of the Dragons. There's just like a lot of stuff I could do. Gonna roar to that. Oh, okay. Interesting. Just keeping that Plague Bearer alive. Very interesting. Now I could just failed experiment Stormspawn. I can make land, Day of the Dragons into Tephra this and just punch. Frogify is going to be a little sad, but I'll still have a dragon, at least, in a good position. We're going to do it. It allows for more proactive plays. I'll actually just do this as well. Do I want to Garadan on top of that? Yeah. Play around creation. So the Garadan here lets me play around creation because if my opponent was to creation the Aurora, could easily take care of this Archon. So I'm just trying to make it as difficult as possible. It's a lot of dragons, and I need to remember now that I cannot creation these dragons because they have they'll have special land requirements, not wildland requirements. It's just something I have to be very aware of. It's a mistake I've made in the past. Creation. Is he just going to wipe my board with Plague Bearers? That'd be pretty funny, actually. Plague Bearer. And a Plague Bearer, a failed experiment Plague Bearer, so that's a board clear. It's a board clear for everyone, but my opponent does have a bigger Faeria advantage. Luckily, I do have an Archon follow-up. And that Aurora was wasted. In some respects. I might go Archon over side, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Unless an Archon comes here, then I'm in a little bit of trouble. Yep, gonna play Archon on the other side. Very nice, I like that line. Alright, so I'm gonna Archon middle. Because now if my opponent gets the quad collect this turn, so the triple Plague Bearer is actually really powerful. And you could argue, okay, maybe I shouldn't have Day of the Dragons, maybe I shouldn't have Tefred and Garadan and all that because it played into that, but I don't want to sit all day playing her, just dancing around this matchup. I want to try and be proactive. Gonna be Frogify. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, I think that's okay. Because I can stick Aurora here into double collection. So now Aurora can double collect, and if my opponent summons anything here, I can just creation her and Aurora herself. And then that way I can take the clear. I still have Aurora say, actually. Something to consider. Oh, Yak Attack's really strong here. Yeah, the Day of the Dragons play was incorrect, but I don't know. I wanted to try it. I don't know anything about this matchup. It's the first time I've played against it, if I'm honest. I can failed experiment into Plague Bearer. It's pretty good. some Faeria. Let's try and play maybe a Zarai next turn. My opponent plays something out of position. I can capitalize with an Azarai. So let's say this just double collects. I could Azarai here. And this will be an 8-6. It's not bad. He's probably going to get Frogified. So do I just wait? Potentially. Let's stick Plague Bearer and double collection. I prefer that. Because I can double collect up to 10 and I can windfall and potentially go for like Azarai into something. I'll have like Azarai Frogify as an option. It's not too bad. And maybe my opponent will play more creatures. It's always a good thing. Another Archon. Zips back up. Another Archon? +1. This one pass. Now I can creation my opponent's Archons, which is pretty cool. Now my only problem is Frogify in this situation. So if I go to the Zarai here, my opponent can Frogify it and then just hit this Plague Bearer and wipe it, and then I'm in a pretty bad position. Frogify actually is really bad for me. I might just Aurora actually and turn this into something else. Because Aurora may give me something decent. It's not bad, actually. Because now I've cleared the right side, which is pretty good, and I still have a double collect. He's quite durable. And I have this Aurora that can push 6 damage next turn, and fatigue is going to be a problem. So I could potentially just win this game through fatigue. I have 5 turns to hold off my opponent. And my opponent's still at least 9 Faeria away from Aurora's Dream. I have 2 creations in hand, so I can actually Aurora again if I want to, which is pretty interesting actually. I'm not sure how good it is, but it's gonna be a Frogify. I thought this might get Frogified, which is fine. And there's my dream. Maybe I just Azarai. Push 2. I put this up to 8. That sets up lethal. Yep, so I'm just setting up lethal. Just trying to take it now. Force my opponent to play reactive. Skywhale's not an issue right now. There's not enough lands for Skywhale. So Magda can't create that as an answer. What else could happen? Could just see another Frogify come down, I guess. It's not the best, but I can still continue to apply pressure. Goes for a draw, that's great for me. Definitely want to see that draw come down. You know, ultimately, I thought the Day of the Dragons play from earlier was a misplay, and I'm still not convinced it was that good, to be honest. But it has worked out for me in a way that I've been able to apply a lot of pressure to my opponent's life, whereas my opponent hasn't had that luxury with me just yet. Into Garadan. Oh, come on, that's not fair. That's definitely not fair. My opponent draws Garadan. Ah, that's really unfair. So we're just going to take an Archon from our opponent here. It can challenge Magda. It also collects on the left-hand side, out the way of Garadan, which is quite nice. Garadan's in a position now it can double collect, and Archon can finish off my Grizzly. I'm just... Magda doing work here. That Garadan is ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Radiant's going to heal up. Yeah, now things are starting to look very difficult for me. Just protects the Magda there. Oh my goodness, this matchup. I'm just trying to win at this point. My opponent has a far more powerful board, you know, generating additional legendaries with the Magda. My best out right now is to just try and smoke. Just try and deal as much damage as possible. Fatigue is coming down soon. I don't see how I win this otherwise. Push 6. Sets up lethal. This has not been a good episode for me, guys. This has been an awful episode. Can't seem to get anything going with this deck at all over the last 2 days. Oh, man. Feels bad. The Garadan of Magda was it. You know, I think if there was anything else other than Garadan, I would have been alright. But the Garadan cleared my Grizzly. Oh, actually, no, the Garadan didn't even clear my Grizzly. Garadan cleared other things that I needed to keep alive. And yeah, the Garadan was just too strong. Into a Beirut. Oh my goodness. Alright. Yak Attack's not gonna do it. And there we have it. I lose to my own deck. So I mean, the Day of the Dragons play wasn't very good, but I don't know, because if it wasn't for Garadan, I would have been fine. So I lost to RNG there. Realistically, I'm not. Okay, that's a bit too bold. My chances of winning were greatly reduced when my opponent got Garadan off Magda. I'm not saying I was a 100% guarantee win. I didn't lose completely to that Magda, but Magda finding the perfect answer in that situation was pretty sad. You know, it eliminated any kind of chances I had, which is just a massive shame, really. You know, even I only had 2 frogs, I think it was. But still, those 2 frogs were enough to, you know, harvest Faeria and apply pressure. And summon a 6/6 flying charge 2 in a collection position. You know, there's not a lot I can do about that. But there we have it. The mirror just does need a very slow approach, I guess. And, you know, I'm not all about that. I'm a player who generally likes to play more aggressive anyway. So control decks kind of funny with me. But yeah. Good games there. It's nice to see the mirror. Let's get into another one. Alright guys, into another match. I'm hoping things go better this time. This hand This hand isn't a go better hand, I can tell you that. Oh my goodness. Unless I'm playing against red. If I'm playing against red or green, I should be alright. I can play Storm Spawn. Yellow's okay as well. So as long as I'm not playing against blue, I don't really mind. So I went here because I'm very afraid of Rush these days. No, we'll take one in the middle. We'll start building the Archon lines. Since my opponent's playing maybe green, yellow, sack. Not sure. A side desert on your orb usually indicates some form of sacrifice. It could be yellow flyers. It could be like Cappuccino's old build of yellow flyers where you play from your orb and use stuff like Celestial Tower. And again, I'm just not drawing anything. Not drawing any creatures. There's a problem with greedy decks. You know, this deck's pretty greedy for what it is. And I've been pretty fortunate to draw like the Archons and Lorfies and Plague Bearers in the early game. But you can get hands like this, which is unfortunate. No, Aurora's Dream in my opening hand with Day of the Dragons. I've just got to hope I can ramp up a lot of Faeria. Yes. Yeah, I guess. This can be flash winded next turn. I really don't want that. Alright, just getting the Storm Spawn down so I can start collecting. If I get Crystal Flowers here, I probably lose. Playing Storm Spawn is so dangerous. Because even if there isn't transform effects, Crystal Flower still exists. And Crystal Flower is a pretty punishing card in this situation. I mean, I'll get it back eventually, but it'll be out of position. It'll just be kind of awkward. No flower. Okay. All right. So things are starting to look a lot better now. We're getting we got the Archon, and we can slap this down now. We can start collecting more Faeria. We have 2 cards that are collecting for us now, which is really good. And once that Storm Spawn eventually dies, I'll be able to gain that big lump of Faeria. That mountain was a mistake. Am I being debated here? Is that just a debate? Build experiment. Alright, so now we just collect Faeria and we start to build towards one of our win conditions. I'll draw cards going into the next couple of turns. It very much depends as well as what this Manta Rider gets up to. With Flash Wind, it can actually cause a lot of trouble for me. You know, it's going to need combo removal if it wants to kill the Archon anyway, so it's going to need something like a Soul Drain. I don't know, I think that might be okay. We'll see. That goes for the mobility. So that's going to be a Soul Drain. And there we have it. Another failed experiment. Not what I need right now. Yak Attack's okay. The attack's okay because with the Storm Spawn, if I can get a hit on the champion, I can at least use the axe to finish it off. I get 10 Faeria from the Storm Spawn. It's going to push me quite close to Dream, actually. The problem is I have all these failed experiments in hand, and Radiance. Radiance is awful. I have a really awful Dream hand right now. I'm just going to punch me for 5. Fanatic. And I'm going to zip out of there. I like it. Bit of guerrilla warfare. Let's keep drawing. Can't use a failed experiment now. This is pretty good. It's going to stop a lot of collection for my opponent. I can start collecting again myself. This is okay actually, because the more this pokes at me, the better Radiance gets. And I can use Radiance to heal. I can even use Radiance as a win condition on top of that, so I can take the healing and then dash this into an aggressive position if I'm feeling comfortable. If this comes down for a face hit now, I can just clean it out. I might just go to collection. No, it's going to go for a face hit. Maybe it's going to get shimmied back out. Yep. Back it comes. Going to go for collection this time. I'm hoping I draw another Plague Bearer, because it gives me a way to open up my Storm Spawn, and I'll be able to use this failed experiment before the Dream. It's very useful. Let's take a draw. Alright. So I now can failed experiment this Storm Spawn. Gain some more Faeria. Day of the Dragons into Garadan. Alright, that was pretty good. That failed experiment Storm Spawn was fantastic. Allowed me to clear the board. You know, I've relieved a lot of pressure. Now the sad thing is I was very close to Aurora's Dream, but in that situation my opponent had so much pressure that I felt like I needed to respond, and you know, the Storm Spawn pickup was fantastic there, absolutely fantastic. It just let me play the Garadan, and Garadan's going to be a key tool in fighting a deck like this, and it might even be worth building mountains, just so I can creation it and then play Garadan again in the future. So you consider in here, Emissary. Okay. So I'm just going to collect off this well. Don't really have much going on, do I, in my hand? I don't want to burn a card. And I don't want to Aurora this. I want this to die. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to get up to here. I guess I could just creation this and burn a card. And the reason I'm creation in this now is because this could die. So yeah, let's start building some mountains. Yeah, we're going to push this guy up. So I am going to burn a card. It's a little unfortunate though. My hand is a bit too clunky. Everything's very expensive. I could have Frogified this guy, I suppose, but I'd rather keep the Frogify for another Manta Rider, or potentially another champion. They're going to be much better targets to Frogify in the future. And now my opponent must be aware that I can Garadan again. Okay. Moves out of the way to double collect. into an aggressive land. Yeah. Hits me for 5. My opponents did a fantastic job about maneuvering around the storm spawn. Wind Soldier. This is not good. But I do have Radiance. Radiance is alright here. Yeah, Radiant's just giving me that heal, also making sure I don't burn any more cards. It's sad I burnt an Archon. That's a pretty good one to get a hold of in this matchup. Just getting a 4 Faeria 6/6, nice and cheap. Radiant's just gonna sustain me for a little bit. Till I can till I can get enough down to Garadan again. Before he gets nightmared. Push for another 2. Maybe not even bother. I'm just gonna shimmy it out of the way. I don't know if you push for 2 on that does allow me to storm spawn this turn. It's gonna allow me to Garadan. Not sure about that one. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate actually. Because now I have a board clear. And a pretty good one at that. So I'm going to kill this guy here. I don't want to use all my yaks. Because I can use a yak here. So I can collect off of this well. I can move on to this desert just to keep it safe. Let's play Aurora. Take care of that. That's pretty good. That was a pretty good answer. And we've seen 2 Wind Soldiers being used on my Garadan, so damage from hand is not going to be as strong. And then we have it. We do get a victory today. Finally. It's been so long, guys. Honestly, I've played so many games where I've just been aggroed or I've just been outdrawn and I've not been able to win. So I'm finally happy to get that first win of today on the board. One more final game. Let's see if we can turn that into a victory. Alright guys, final game. What can we do? What are we capable of? This hand is actually pretty good. This all combos together, so I can play a Lore Thief. And then I can play an Aurora on Lore Thief, and then I can create an Aurora. Pretty good, unless I get Ground Shaken now. If I get Ground Shaken now, that's pretty sad. But I'm not going to play around it, because why would I play around Ground Shaker? Who would do such a thing? I will Aurora this in advance, that's for sure. Explore Mountain? Well, Ground Shaker, Cypher's Wrath, all those fun cards. I'm going to turn this into a free, I guess, but I do want to dig deeper into my deck. I do want to find some options. Sweet. It's pretty greedy for me to just go for the Windfall here and not go for the Aurora. All right, time to hit the greedy line, guys. I want to play. I want to go Aurora into Creation into Aurora next turn. That's the dream. That's the dream. A dream's looking okay because I get to Windfall now as well. All right, that's good. It worked out. It worked out. So let's Windfall. So let's move this back. We'll go for the Aurora. In the wrong position. Yep, positional error there, guys. No, I needed to play Aurora here. I needed to play my last Aurora here. I messed that up. So yeah, I should have played Aurora here and then played Creation and then played Aurora here, then Creation the Aurora, then Aurora the Aurora. So I had a 6/6 in this position. So yeah, positional error for me. Can I really recover from it? That's my question. You know, let's pass. Let's throw that away now. It's too late to recover from that. Oh, I hate burn. I really hate playing against burn with this deck. It's difficult. Very difficult. You guys have seen me lose to burn so many times. Ooh, hello. Failed this, I gained 4 Faeria. No, 3 Faeria. So go up to 16, and I could +1 into a dragon. So I could +1 into something. But no dragons look that good right now. Let's just pass. Let's go for. We can go for a Day of the Dragons play. A bit later. Like next turn, maybe I'll have an opportunity to do it next turn. Say the Grimgar goes for Gift of Steel to play around dying to the Law Thief. I could run the potentially just run the 6/6 into that. Okay. Really don't like this. I might Frogify this, guys. I'm not sure. I'm a little afraid of Scourge Flame because my opponent's just sitting on a mountain of Faeria. Does this run Nightmare, I wonder? Because I am half tempted to double neutral, go into get the Faeria ramp, play Day of the Dragons, get Tephra, and then just buff Tephra on this spot. Problem is my opponent can just play a creature here. So my opponent does have counterplay to that. I can Frogify my own guy, jump across, Creation, and kill it. that is a choice. That is one of my choices as well. Let's take a draw. Windfall? No, I'm gonna move this here. I'll take the Frogify. Yeah, we'll just chill. We'll just chill for now. We go up to. Let's just assume this lives. Go up to 17, 20, 22. We're gonna be 2 Faeria off going into Aurora's Dream. And my opponent has 18 Faeria as a burn deck. It's pretty terrifying. If I draw Radiance, it's going to be okay because I can Radiance and I could Creation the Radiance and then heal more. Could just see a Cypher's Wrath coming down. We could see Ground Shaker. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Cypher's Wrath. Scourge Flame. Yep. Cap 10. Another Storm Spawn. Alright, let's take a draw. Archon. Not great. I'm still going to take a ton of damage. But we can trigger it, actually. We can get it up to a 6/6. Oh man, like Archon, like what does it do? It kills one of them, but I'm still taking tons of damage next turn. I'm probably just dead. I'm probably just dead, so I'm gonna try and Dream next turn. Hopefully pull Radiance with some Frogifiers and stuff and just go from there. You can generate Gift of Steel. Gift of Steel the bird, which does tons of damage. Does 8 damage on its own. And then I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't have Flame Burst or another Gift of Steel. Very unlikely. So yeah, it's going to be 10. The 9 into Flame Burst. And there we have it. That's going to be game. I think the Dream of Dragons deck has come to its conclusion. It's too known about now. I can't get away with as much stuff as I used to, which is a shame. But there's way too much burn on the ladders, way too much rush, and unfortunately, this deck does suffer at the hands of those archetypes. That does conclude this 3-part special for Will It Work, featuring Dream of Dragons, a janky new Day of the Dragons deck. Based on Senelian's build of an old Aurora's Dream deck. So this wasn't entirely my creation. This was created by Senelian in the past, and I just expanded on the build. I'm a little sad that the deck can't really compete with some of the archetypes in the metagame right now, because it's a lot of fun, and I feel like the deck kind of rewards you for planning and, you know, managing your Faeria and trying to pull off combos. So it has a lot of cool features in the deck, but unfortunately just can't match up to some of the other decks in the meta, and it's a little unfortunate. But that's what happens to jank. It did work, but doesn't quite work anymore. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-part edition of Will It Work, and yeah, I know this episode was a bit disappointing in terms of my performance, but it does feel like the deck is suffering on the ladder right now. But we got to have some good games out of it. I'm reflecting back on some of the matches we've had throughout the 3 episodes, and they have been awesome. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys continue to try this deck out. It might be better to try it in casual, but yeah, be sure to give it a spin if you haven't already. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy Dream of Dragons.